Hello there. Hi, hello, and welcome. Sorry, I was a little behind there on my entrance, but I'm here now. How's everybody doing this evening? We are almost to Friday. If you're new to the channel, I'm Tanya. We do talk all things true crime here. And for some reason, the little bubble thing's bothering me that it's a different color. So we're gonna change it to match my shirt. That's what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to be aesthetically pleasing, if nothing else. So, like I said, I'm Tanya. Nice to meet you. If you're a returning Titan, which probably if you're this, into the live this early, you probably are a returning Titan. I thought that I had scheduled this live earlier, but I didn't hit this schedule button. So sorry about that, guys. I know it's kind of short notice, but if you were on the live last night, you had a feeling I would be around sometime tonight to do an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. So we've been hitting Riley Strand's case pretty hardcore, I feel like, over the last few days. So I wanted to, take a break from that case and focus on Sebastian's case. There is a new interview that's come out with his parents. And his dad's been doing some interviews, which is awesome. But his biological mother, well, of course, his mother and his stepfather, they've been doing some interviews. They just did one with Chronicles of Olivia. I was like halfway through watching that. Let me know if you guys have seen that. It was pretty good. And then I figured we'll watch some stuff tonight. And then I think we're going to go over all the interviews at once. But before we do all that crazy stuff, let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got Mary Beth in here. She beat Cheryl by how many minutes? Oh my gosh, not very much. 2 minutes. Hey Ladybug, hey DM. Oh, and happy anniversary, DM. Happy anniversary if you could hear me. Hey Jules, welcome in everybody. Ladybug. Sometimes I go fast in the chat. It's good to see everybody though. Hey Kyle, Spoopy and say everybody. Ashley, welcome in everyone. I didn't even put my welcome. I'm a meme girl. I love that. I love that name. I love that name. There's like no other way to put that. That's like the best name on YouTube. I need to think of a better name. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to change my name. That would get people confused. Oh no. Well, you'll be calm with us. We're a pretty good group. We are a really good group. If you need anything, just let us know in the chat too. We're really good at helping people. We really are. I'll say I'm not even down to the end, so I'm not all the way down to the end. Yeah, hey ALR. There's awesome people in this chat. Let me tell you what. Speaking of crappy days, I had to see the psychiatrist today. When you go to the psychiatrist, it's always like it's just 20 minutes of you not really talking about much because she doesn't care how you feel. She's there to give you your prescriptions and get on with her day, Oh, well, I'm glad that you like it here. Yeah, Ashley's over there watching some basketball or something. We're in, March Madness, I guess, huh? Before we get started, we've already been started, but I wanted to throw in this banner thing. I don't know why it's like I don't keep things in order like I should. I try my bestest, but they go out of order sometimes. I need one of those people that like to do tedious work. I need an assistant. That's what I need. Just somebody that likes to do the tedious work. I'll do everything else. It's just the tedious stuff, Let me get over to my notes. Actually, I don't even have any notes for today. Let's just wing it. You turn old tomorrow, Terry Dean. It's your birthday tomorrow. And before we get started, look at this the cake with the skull. The crossbones are like, nope, you're done. You're only turning 21. Terry Dean, you should be fine. Hey, Therese, welcome in. Hey, Stephanie. Okay. So if you guys watched my short video today, I don't know if you caught it, but I did put out a short video over just an update on the Sebastian Rogers case because I knew that tonight we were going to come on and watch Nancy Grace's newest video that she did. And she actually has an interview with Sebastian's father, which he's been coming out with a lot more interviews. And I didn't realize that he was a sheriff's deputy sheriff, something like that. So he definitely is. And So if you didn't get to watch my video short today, I wanted to show you this. But before I do that, let me show you Sebastian. We all know who he is by this point. I don't know why this looks kind of fuzzy. Sorry, I had to get a drink. I just like saying his name. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers of Hendersonville, Tennessee. He went missing. He was reported missing February 26th, but he was last seen February 25th. He was last seen at his home getting ready for bed, and he was last seen wearing a black long sleeve shirt with some sort of print on the front of it and pants that were black with a white stripe down the side. It says something a little differently on here because it's changed since then. Sebastian is in fact autistic. And I'm not sure of his severity of autism. I don't think they've really come out and told us the severity of it. I mean, because, I don't even know the intricacies of, autism, but I know that there's kids that are nonverbal, and I'm assuming that that's more of a severe case than kids that are, able to take care of themselves and talk and, just do more of those things. But I'm not sure what part of the spectrum that he was actually on. And I've heard that, and I know this is true. I've heard that kids with autism are extremely smart, super smart. You think so, Kyle? You don't think he's here anymore? Oh, you're welcome, Terry. This one, it's like, where is he? Really, where is he? Where are you at? Let me put me back up here. Let me go over here. I'm trying to figure out this whole layout, how I want to be. Sorry if I make you guys dizzy tonight. But I'm trying to make it just a little bit better for everybody's visually. So let's see. So if you didn't get to watch my video short, like I said, Sebastian's mom came out and revealed something that she's never revealed during this whole investigation. Pretty much she says that she heard a noise in Sebastian's room the night that he disappeared. Now, she comes out to say, she hears it and she says something along the lines of, Sebastian, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to bed. But if she's bringing this up now, I don't know why she didn't bring it up at the beginning. Wouldn't you think that would lead her to believe in some part of her brain or in her heart that whatever she heard wasn't Sebastian? Because I would think that she would just wouldn't put that in the story. You know what I mean? Put that out there. Especially this far into, him being missing. We're over 3 weeks now. It's very weird to me. So I'm going to show it to you guys and we'll read through it and I'm going to get you guys' opinion on it. And, I'm not in the right spot. So let's just put me back over here. Guys, where I belong. So I found this very interesting. So what I thought tonight is we'll read through this and then we'll watch the Nancy Grace video she just came out with. She has Sebastian's dad on there. Like I said, he's been doing a great job. And then he's also been searching in a state park. So I wanted to go over that with you guys as well. So I always had the impression, and I'm letting everyone know, everyone already knows, I think, that when we saw this interview here, I genuinely thought that they were grieving parents, step or not, parents. I still don't know what I think about it yet. I want to watch all of Chronicles of Olivia's interview, and then I want to go back through and watch all the interviews in order. And so we'll probably do that on one of our lives. But you guys pointed out you didn't believe it. And so now you got me questioning it. So I'm going to keep watching and I'm going to keep absorbing, because I don't watch other creators' content. The Riley Strand stuff that I saw on Pascal's show, that was and one thing I think I saw about Sebastian on there, that was the only thing the only stuff that I've watched on true crime on YouTube in forever. Other than I went to Melissa Jade's live last night, but she was debunking Idaho 4 stuff. So it was more of a debunking thing. I just don't, I don't like other people's opinions to I like to base my own opinion on my own facts. And I like you guys to base it on that too. So it says here, Sebastian's mother, Roger's mother, revealed she heard a noise on the night autistic teen disappeared. And then this is them in the first interview that they did. And this is Chris and Katie Proudfoot. And then the father's name is Seth. So the mother of missing teen, Sebastian Rogers, said she heard a noise coming from her teen son's room on the night that he disappeared from his bedroom. When was this written? Okay. Almost a month since Sebastian vanished from his family's home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The search continues for the teenager, who is believed to have wandered off in the middle of the night, barefoot with a flashlight and alone. See, I still don't, there's nothing that would take me outside even at this age, barefoot with a flashlight. Nope, not going to happen. So it says here that the 15-year-old was last seen by his family on the night of the 25th of February. But when his mother went to wake him up, and he was seen by his mother, to wake him up the following morning, Sebastian was gone. Sebastian, who has high-functioning autism, has been previously described by his mother as being very smart and not mischievous child by any means. Now, I'm sure that somebody knows somebody with autism or has someone in their family with autism. If you're high-functioning, are you required to take medications regularly? Or are you is that something you can't live without? I just feel like if you're high functioning, that could mean a lot of things. Like, I know a lot of adults that have autism, and you would never know. Yes, I mean, girl, that's true. I have tender feet. They say I have autistic like tendencies because I have like sensation problems and stuff, and clothing, like what's it called? Sensory issues. And it just started. This is leading up to his disappearance. His mother told YouTube channel Chronicles of Olivia in an interview that their family was having a normal day filled with laughter, eating a colossal amount of popcorn, and a trip around town. No. They went to eat at dinner because they have it on video. So why would they be eating a colossal amount of popcorn? Very weird. And if your comment doesn't come up, I just have to show it. Yeah, that's weird. Her son took out the trash at the end of the driveway as was his usual chore. And then around 9 p.m. he was told to go to bed. Now, I do remember, like, one of the first interviews that she came out with, she never said anything about him going to bed at 9 o'clock. She said that she woke up at 10:30 on the couch and she went to bed at midnight. But I think I did hear in another interview she did say 9 o'clock. So I think it's just on who's writing the article at the time. But let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys think because I don't remember hearing anything about him taking the trash out. Let me know if you've heard anything about that. I don't remember that part. But I do remember in one article, she told him to go to bed around 9. And then in one article, she didn't tell him to go to bed at all. And if you woke up and at 10:30, wouldn't you go check on your kid before you go to bed? That's just me. I know he's 15, but like, still, he's your kid. He's in your house. I don't know. I feel like I could have a 30-year-old in my house. If he was my kid, I'd be in there peeking just to make sure you okay, dude? Before I go to bed. Hey, Tina. Autism is so individual. Yeah, Roseanne. That's what I'm thinking. So Ladybug, there was like lights that appeared in the backyard area. And that's what Nancy Grace is going to go over tonight. But his mom and stepdad come out with like the first interview and said, we think he took a flashlight with him because we're down one or something along those lines. Now, I don't know who decided to check the light, the flashlight stash, but good idea. I mean, because if my kid was missing in the middle of the night, I don't know if I would go to check my junk drawer, see if all my flashlights are there. But maybe they were running to grab a flashlight to look for something and it was gone. You know, he went and went barefoot, take out the trash. I understand you completely, and I do not wear my shoes outside. I even sometimes wear these ones inside, these little house shoes. Oh, I went up to chat up. Hi. So hello everyone. Hey Manny V. I was trying to read your chat for a minute. Okay. Yeah, the colossal amount of popcorn. He was doing something in his room. Okay, so this is what, so she sends it to bed at 9. And this is the first time we've heard of this. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later, I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. So, if you heard a noise, you would know if it was your son or not, you know, and I would feel like you would know if it's a window opening for him to be sneaking out, or if, you know, you would know your son's voice. So I feel like, to me, for her to say that, like, she has to be thinking or thought that maybe it wasn't him, or maybe she heard multiple like things, and it might have been voices, or it might have been like multiple things moved at the same exact time and she knows those are separate sides of the room, or do you know what I mean? Like noises. For her to come out and say that almost 4 weeks into him being, you know, his disappearance, Sebastian's disappearance, it's a little weird to me. And I mean, you know, and I've been backing up these parents since day one, you know. So just letting y'all know, that. If you guys don't mind just taking a second, hit that like button, smash that real quick, and I'm going to keep going. That way more people will be able to come in and join. So yeah, she heard some noise and then she told him, go to bed. I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. I mean, that sounds like a mom, you know. I don't care if you're in there, you know, you better be, I could hear my mom telling me that. At 6:00, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't there. Miss Proudfoot scanned the entire house as she said it's typical for him to get up and rummage for snacks or will dip behind the walls and playfully scare her. I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the windows and doors, or doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name, she said. I jumped in my car and drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school. And like at this point, I was like hysterical and I was crying. I was screaming. It was at that point that her husband phoned law enforcement, but 20 days later, we haven't found him. So that makes more sense than when he came out and he said, well, I just called the cops. I called law enforcement. He didn't put a backstory to that, to where like it seems like she was incoherent. She was hysterical. That's why she didn't call. His mother and stepfather describe him as not a child that wanders and is very smart, functional, happy person. Just a teenager who is coming into his hormones. A massive search for the teenager was launched by the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, which lasted about a week before it was scaled back as they transitioned to the investigative side of the case, with detectives adding that they have no reason to believe Sebastian isn't alive. The couple were asked by Chronicles of Olivia about the home security footage obtained by WTVF that appears to show 2 flashlights outside the family's home in the Hendersonville neighborhood around 3:10 a.m. in the middle of the night. So, and we're also going to hear from Sebastian's dad. So let's see what his mom and stepdad think of this, the surveillance that they saw, or, you know, that was captured. One clip shows a pitch black Stafford Court neighborhood with 2 lights that appear to be people with flashlights moving towards each other before moving off screen. However, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, told Chronicles of Olivia that nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately. Well, what if they were assuming that it wasn't real? Would that be untrue? Oh, wait, yeah, nothing is new. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what the dad says. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, when these these lights came up. I did say, is this a bug? Is that a bug? I had no idea. Hey, Wolfie, welcome in. Oh, man. My glasses are hurting my eyes tonight, guys. Sorry about that. So where were we at? And then we'll get to the Nancy Grace because I cannot wait to hear her yelling. He said that as parents, they saw the footage firsthand from law enforcement. Everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight. I hate to say it, but it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I wonder what it is then. Then what is it? I'm just wondering. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said in a recent update that we do caution that some surveillance video being shared in the public may have been misinterpreted or misidentified or not shown in its entirety, but did not specify any particular videos. And we did see this one in a big, huge clip. The couple added that nothing has been eliminated from the investigation into their son's disappearance. Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we even started searching to the worst, said his mother, but adding that she's trying not to go down that road of thought. We're going to find him, Miss Proudfoot said. We just know he's out there somewhere. Miss Proudfoot said she has been miserable ever since her son vanished from his bedroom. I just want you home, baby, and we love you. While the weeks have gone by with no sign of Sebastian, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said they have not forgotten about him. Much of the work currently being done to bring Sebastian home may not necessarily be public or visible. I mean, they're probably getting camera footage from some house somewhere. Those houses in that neighborhood that he lived in, it was a gated community. They're all going to have a doorbell. They're going to have doorbell cameras for sure. They're going to have a camera probably, perched in the front and the back on entrances, exits, garages. I mean, these people, they can afford cameras. They can afford plenty of them if they wanted. So I'm assuming that there's going to be footage somewhere of him. They're going to find it, whether he walked away or he didn't. It says, but agents, detectives, and intelligent analysts continue to work around the clock to review every bit of information available. Sebastian's family has remained cooperative since the search began and have done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. So let's see. Well, thank you, Mary Beth, for gifting a membership. Look at that. And KB got it. Thank you so much. 600,000. Yeah, VMAP. I could believe that. It's big. It's nice. It's in a good neighborhood. Wow. Yeah. I knew it was big. Wonder how many square feet it is. Hey, Aries. Hope you're doing well too. Wow. Hey, Naomi. Did I say hi to Naomi already? I don't even know if I did. I thought I did. Or was that earlier live? I'm getting mixed up. Let me see. I'm gonna go up there. I thought I saw something I needed to read, but we're gonna move on to Nancy because she's gonna have something good to say. So let's go ahead and let's move on to her. And then after we're done, we'll read about how Sebastian's father, he has been looking for Sebastian, and he told us, he said this on interviews, that he's been looking for him just as long. He's allowed to look wherever he wants, as long as he tells law enforcement where he's searching and when he's searching, just for his safety, and then after we're done, he has been searching in State Park in Tennessee for him. So we'll go over and we'll listen to that, or we'll read that when we're done listening to this. Thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Mary Beth, for gifting membership. I appreciate that. If you guys would like to join our channel membership, I will put the link in the chat for you guys. And if you guys don't mind just taking a second, smash the like, and we'll start the video. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be loud too. I'm gonna raise it slowly, the volume, because she's gonna be pissed. I already know.
Is a missing autistic teen, Sebastian Rogers. The hunt is on for this boy. Did he wander away from home entirely barefoot? This as eerie surveillance footage emerges outside Sebastian's home purportedly of two people with flashlights. What does that mean? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on SiriusXM.
So before she gets started, I just want to make everyone know Sebastian's mom, well, she didn't really say, but Sebastian's stepfather said the video footage from the backyard with the two lights, looks like lightning bugs almost, but they're flashlights maybe, that was inaccurate information. It's not right. That's not what that is. Has nothing to do with Sebastian. Because tonight Nancy's going to interview Sebastian's biological father, and I want to hear when she asks him that question, I want to know what he has to say to her. And also, I think I own that jacket almost that Nancy's wearing.
11. First of all, listen to this.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I can't find him. He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
You are hearing Sebastian's mother describing the moment that she realizes Sebastian is gone. Again, I'm Nancy Grace, and I want to thank you for being with us. The search for Sebastian is on. And let me, right off the top, give you the tip line, 615-451-3838. Repeat, 615-451-3838. Look at him. This boy needs our help. Where is Sebastian? Joining me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But first, I want to go out to a very special guest. This is Sebastian's father joining us, Seth Rogers.
Oh,
Mr. Rogers.
Look at him. Oh, man. Can you see his eyes? Let me blow him up. Can you see him? I listened to this on podcast, so I didn't get to see the pictures, but that brings tears to my eyes. Wow. Like, no lie, guys. It takes a lot to get me going. It must be something in the air today. But his eyes are red. Like, and it's not from doing the good stuff. It's from not eating. Oh, my Lord. Or not eating. He's not sleeping. Not eating either, but not sleeping. Handsome guy. Yeah, Cheryl. Very, very much so. Oh, man, I feel so bad for him.
Thank you for being with us. Could you recount for us when you learned Sebastian is missing? I know it just seems completely surreal.
Okay, I won't pause it anymore for a long time, I promise. But every time we have seen Seth, Sebastian's father, like out there, I've never seen him like this. He's always been like pretty strong. I heard he's a sheriff deputy, like strong men. That'll take you though. That'll break you.
There's no words for it. I mean, when I found out that he was gone, I was just like, I headed over to Katie's house, see what was going on, and he's not here. I don't know where he's at. I've been looking for him every day. It's just.
Seth, what have you been doing to look for him every day? And I know that to be true. You are looking for him every day. Guys, please look at Sebastian. This young boy is autistic. He may not, in a scared and emotional and lost state, he may not even be able to tell someone who he is and where his home is. He is out there lost, and the Lord only knows where. Seth, what have you been doing to find Sebastian?
He's high functioning.
I've been handing out flyers every day. I've been on some podcasts. I've done some face-to-face interviews on the news. I'm just anything I can. I've been to the south side of Nashville. I've been to Franklin. I've been to Bellevue. I've been through Henderson. I've been through Gallatin. I've been through Clarksville. I've been through Oak Grove, Kentucky. I mean, I'm handing out flyers, finding out. I mean, I want everybody to see my son and know that he's missing, and that if you see him, call 911. I need my son back.
I'm just trying to get my mind around what you and Sebastian's mom are going through, because when I go in to wake up my twins, if they're not in the bed, which is rare, they're usually still asleep. If they're not in the bed, I immediately glance in the bathroom, and if they're not there, that's totally out of character. They're always right there in their bedroom in the morning when I wake them up. And that would be totally out of the normal if they weren't there. Tell me your understanding of what happened.
Katie told me that when she woke up Monday morning, that he wasn't in his room and she can't find him. And I heard that once I got there. When I got off of work, I had a text message from the stepfather, Chris, and a missed phone call. And I called him.
Aww.
And he told me that Sebastian was missing and he didn't know what had happened. So I had
Okay, let me ask you a couple of quick questions, Seth. Number one, is there any type of a burglar alarm in the home?
I don't know. I don't live there.
Okay, that is not helping me. Let me see if I can find that out. I'm going to go to Aaron Cantrell on that from News Channel 5. So we don't know if there's a burglar alarm. Was a window open in Sebastian's home?
How many? Okay, I don't want to say it. I don't want to bring that. Okay, how do I word this? How many? That's a bad way to. I'm trying to think of a way to word this to where it doesn't like make you guys look like sitting ducks. But I'm just wondering how many households nowadays don't have a security camera, either on their front door or their back door or in their house somewhere. I'm wondering if I just feel like everybody has some sort of something now, because home defense like that is such reasonably priced to where like you can get a small little camera for, $30 or under. So I'm wondering, because like they should have some sort of security camera there. And did I see that? Mary Beth, that's huge. Day 3 with no cigarette. You quit, girl. That means you quit. That means you're good. You're all going to the other side. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Mary Beth. That's so hard to do. Dang, that's so hard to do.
In his room.
Not that I am aware of.
Well, Nancy, we don't know. We do know that they did search the perimeter of the house. And I know one day when I was out there, when they were searching, they had a dive team out there. They were searching the grounds, but the area is very, some parts of it is very rural, and they're doing a lot of construction around the area. So there's a lot of construction, lots of subdivisions being built in that area. And like you mentioned earlier,
construction sites should have
the
cameras.
Flashlights in the backyard. That was a very common area where people could potentially be walking, but it is odd at that early in the morning that there were 2 flashlights, in considering that's what detectives are saying, that they believe that Sebastian left the home barefoot with the flashlight. So that is very odd. But as you can see in these pictures here, it's a very rural area. They've called in teams from across Tennessee. I mean, they've gone as far east, as far west, bringing in different units to come search the property. They've drained ponds. They're looking everywhere, and they've searched about a 10-mile radius in thousands of miles, just going back and forth until unfortunately they had to scale back that search.
So Seth, what time did you get to the home that day?
I got the message at about 7:20. I was there at about 8:00.
Wow.
So immediately when you got to the home, tell me about the state of the home.
The home was clean.
I'm going to say this, though. He's a no bullshit kind of guy, and I love that about him. And he will give credit where credit is due. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't try to he doesn't try to make Sebastian's mother out to be the bad person. He's just telling the facts. And that's how I feel anyway.
I mean, it looked like it normally did when I walked in.
So
very
were there
clean.
any signs of forced entry at the front or back door or on Sebastian's window that you could observe?
No, there was none.
Was anything
Back
stolen
door
from the
was
home?
Not that I was informed of.
Okay. Do you
Back
know if
door.
there are burglar lights, motion sensor lights that would turn on if someone moved on the perimeter of the home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm trying to understand his daily routine. Did Sebastian get up every morning and go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
What school?
Beach High School.
How far away?
I think it's like 0.6 miles.
6 miles? Did you say 6 miles?
0.6.
0.6 miles, very close to home. Did he walk or take a bus or ride a bike?
He rode the bus.
He rode the bus. Is he mainstreamed? He is autistic. Is he mainstreamed with other students?
He's in their Why We
What?
Try program.
Why we
What is that?
try?
It's for the special needs children, where they are doing the same tasks that the mainstream does, but they get a little bit extra time. You know, if they have like 30 questions, then in the Why We Try program, they get like 20, and they get extra time to answer them. So they're still learning the same stuff.
That's really cool. I don't know if that's how like they used to do it, learning disability classes when I was. That's what they used to call like LD classes, learning disability classes. I'm sure there's more conventional names, so don't come at me because I'm sure there's a newer name for it now. But he was in those classes, and I guess those classes are really pretty awesome though. Like you get a little bit more time with your. If this is what if I'm picking up what he was putting down, you get a little bit more time with your teachers. That's a plus. And instead of like 30 questions, you would get like 20 questions. Another plus. But the big plus is you would get more time with your teachers. And what student doesn't need that, really? I mean, I think we all need it, right? When we were in school. Having both can be good. Cameras and my experience you need. Yeah. And no trespass signs. If you don't have them, please go get them. Some states people can come in your home. You have no signs, no charges. Exactly. Did you hear about the lady that she like shot the guy or something? And he like took over her $1 million home. I'd shoot him too. I cannot do the squatter thing. I can't. I don't get it. If I owned a property and there was somebody in my property and there was nothing I could do, I'd be carrying them out.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. That morning, your wife calls you, your ex calls you about 7:20 a.m.
Wow.
Would that have been
No.
on a school day?
No, it was her husband that called me.
I think he's serious.
Okay. Was that at 7:20 a.m.?
No, 7:20 a.m. is when I got to my vehicle because I got off of work at 7. My shift ended at 7. By the time I found out to make sure that I didn't have to stay over or anything, then I got to my truck about 7:20, and they had texted me and tried to call me on my cell phone at around 6:20.
And you found out about it at 7:20. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Rogers, did he go missing on a school day?
From my understanding, she put him to bed Sunday night, and yes, Monday morning he's missing.
Okay, so he's in his room Sunday night, Monday morning, he's gone out of his home. Could you tell me the level of the severity of his autism?
He's very intelligent. He's very smart. He just lacks social skills and reading of people's body language. He likes things to be in a routine. He likes to control his environment.
I'm looking at Sebastian right now.
He likes to control his environment. Oh my Lord, that is me. Every time they say something about Sebastian, I'm like, are you my brother, Sebastian? But let me go back. I want to hear that again. Because that proves that he wouldn't just walk out of the house and just go into the woods. You know what I mean?
Social skills and reading of people's body language. He likes things to be in a routine. He likes to control his environment.
That's me. Routine and wants to be in control of the environment. He would not walk out in the woods. You have no control over the environmental elements. And I don't know. If he's anything like me, he ain't going outside. And he definitely ain't going out there barefoot and in the dead of night. He's going to wake somebody up because he's going to be too scared to do it by himself if he thinks he hears a noise. He's going to go wake up mama. Do we know when the stepdad left for his job? Because he was out of town for a job. I can't remember exactly where. I could find out. It was for St. Jude, though.
I'm looking at Sebastian right now, and it is
Let me see.
breaking my heart thinking of this young boy, this autistic boy, possibly out in the wild, possibly with strangers he doesn't know. What would his reaction be to that, Seth Rogers?
I don't know, because I've never seen him have to deal with this. Most of the time, if he's with me, he gets his information from me about interacting with people. If I sit there and I'm meeting new people, I talk to him. It's like, son, you can introduce yourself if you would like. If he does, he does. If he doesn't want to, I don't make him.
Seth, when was the last time you can verify that he was alive and well?
When I talked to him on Thursday,
How often do you see him?
I get to see him every other weekend. If he's on like a spring break or a fall break, or he's got an extended time away from school for like school days. When we had the weather was bad out here and they canceled school, he was with me. Summer breaks.
I just wanted to say something really quick. His dad actually moved like states to be closer to his son, but didn't move. This is an unbelievable man, but didn't move so close to where he would be in her backyard. You know what I mean? Like to where she would feel comfortable. He could still pick up his kid if he needed to under any, I mean, it's right there. Like he was far away, I think 40 minutes out or something, but close enough to come get him. That says a lot about a person, There was one other thing I wanted to tell you too about him. I'll remember it as soon as I probably hit the play.
I get him whenever he's not in school.
That's what I was told you. So in one of his first interviews, I think that they might have taken it wrong when he says that he was going to, after this, or when he went on break, when Sebastian went on break or school break, summer break, that he was going to come live with him. I think what people thought, this is what I think, and I could be wrong. I'm thinking that he was meaning more like he was coming to live with me for summer break and then go back to his mom's for school, not come stay with me and live with me permanently. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys remember that interview that he did where he said, yeah, he was supposed to come live with me during like summer break, like starting summer break. And I'm thinking what it is he meant like he was going to be staying with him over summer break. But I don't know. If you guys heard that, let me know what you guys heard.
Cool. Except
Seth,
for the week.
Whenever you have the opportunity to be with Sebastian, isn't it true that you exercise that opportunity? You are with him every chance possible under the law.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, I'm bringing in the rest of the panel. You are hearing Seth Rogers describe the moment he gets off of work at around 7 a.m., gets to his vehicle and realizes his wife and the stepdad have been calling and texting him, thank you, since around 6:20-ish a.m. So on a Monday morning to tell him his son, an autistic boy, is missing from their home. And from what I can tell right now, you heard Aaron Cantrell jumping in earlier, and thank you for that, Aaron. Please don't hold back, Aaron. We're not having high tea at Windsor Castle. Aaron is joining us from News Channel 5 in Nashville. Aaron, thank you for being with us. I don't hear anything so far about a forced entry, about a window being open, about anything being taken from the home. I understand that the mother put him to bed at regular bedtime for school the next morning, and that around 6 to 6:20 a.m. Monday morning, she says she goes into his bedroom to wake him and he is gone. Aaron or Seth or anyone else on the panel, do we know that anything else was missing, such as his backpack, a cell phone, something he liked? Do we know anything about anything missing from the home?
Good question, Nancy.
Anybody?
His mother said that he's missing a keychain flashlight. That's it.
A keychain
His
flashlight?
keychain.
Hold on a second. Hold on. It's just a keychain flashlight, y'all? I had never heard her not say once, not one time, that it was a keychain flashlight. That thing ain't going to give you no looms. Where's your looms going to be? You're not going to have no light. It's going to be like a 1994 Nissan Altima out there trying to look in the dark with that thing. I was thinking a full-fledged flashlight, y'all. I mean, not like it matters at this point anyway, what kind it is, but it does matter, you know? Do you think that could be what it was, VMath? Wow. All of a sudden, that I never heard them say anything about that before.
Flashlight. Interesting, Seth Rogers. When I come in, I put my driver's license and credit cards, which are in a rubber band. That's my pocketbook.
I'm sorry, I knew she was going to say that. Her pocketbook is, that's me. I'm just going to.
Flashlight. Interesting, Seth Rogers. When I come in, I put my driver's license and credit cards, which are in a rubber band. That's my pocketbook.
That's so safe.
All of that and my key in a certain spot in the kitchen. Rarely do I put it anywhere else. This is what I'm asking, Seth.
I do that too.
You told me that your son, autistic boy, Sebastian, likes things in a certain way in a routine, like many of us. Would he have had that flashlight? And I believe you said keys, flashlight and keys attached to each other?
It's a keychain flashlight. It's a flashlight that would go on your keys.
I bet he always put them in a certain place, didn't he?
Probably.
In my house, all of his stuff is in his upper drawer. When the police showed up at my house to look, upper drawer, house key, wallet, everything's in his upper drawer.
Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5 Nashville. Hold on just one moment. Joining me right now.
If he had a cool keychain, enough for it to be a light up, like a light up keychain, right? That's pretty cool. He would have, I mean, if he had house keys, maybe he didn't have house keys, but if he had house keys, don't you think the flashlight keychain would be with the house keys? And he would always have it in a certain spot? Because people with autism, and I'm not autistic, but they say I have tendencies, and if it's anything like me, or maybe there's just blindness, but you always put stuff where you find it. Wherever it goes, it has a spot. Like everything has a spot. And I feel like this little boy was like that too. So I'm wondering if he even had keys to his own house because of him. I mean, he's 15, but with him being, autistic, maybe his mom and stepdad were always there when he got off the bus.
Now is an expert, a board certified behavior analyst, and autism expert, chief clinical officer with Little Stars Therapy Services. Courtney Lasky, thank you so much for being with us. Isn't it true that autistic children, like many of us, like things to be in a certain order for many, many varied reasons? If this was missing from Sebastian's home, I would venture to hypothesize he took it with him.
Correct. Yes. And, without knowing Sebastian personally, I can't make any assumptions about his behavior, but knowing that this was not a typical history for him to wander, to leave the house in the middle of the night, it is interesting that he did leave with that keychain flashlight.
Another thing,
what if it was in his pocket when he went to sleep?
Courtney Lasky, and I'm going to throw this to you as well, Seth Rogers. If he was in such routine, as I believe he was, due to his circumstances being autistic, why would he have left without his shoes? That is not his routine. This is not a child that leaves a home without his shoes? First of all, Seth, how do I know he didn't have his shoes?
3 pairs of shoes were at the front door. His old tennis shoes, his new tennis shoes that his mama had just bought him, and the boots that I had just bought him. His
Is it
mama had
possible
told
he
me
wore
the
another
last
set of
time I had
shoes?
him, his feet were growing. The last time I had him for that, the last weekend I had him, his mama told me that his shoes weren't fitting anymore, and she asked me to get him shoes.
I mean, them shoes right there look brand new too. I bet you his feet were growing. Oh man, I'm sorry to your parent
And
with boys.
we wanted a pair of
Oh,
boots, so we
oh, he looks adorable there. Oh, that's really cute. That's a cute picture of him.
went to Boot Barn and got him a pair of boots.
Is it possible he wore a different pair of shoes?
Like sandals, flip flops.
I don't think so, because if
His
he's
feet were
not
growing
fitting
though.
into them, she gets rid of them.
Okay, let me tell you something, Seth.
Mhm.
My son and daughter have one of those shoe racks over the back of their closet door. And I see those closet doors 10 times a day. I would see if shoes were missing. I would know that.
There's no shoes in
And
his room.
okay, there's my answer. He left
Shoes-
without his shoes on.
Shoes get taken off at the front door, same as my house.
Same here.
Same
I
here.
always have people take their shoes off at the door.
Yeah, you better
Just
take your
have it.
grimy shoes
So
off.
there were no shoes in his room. All his shoes were still sitting at the door. Can we confirm that, Seth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, you may think, why is she asking and asking and asking about the same thing? I'll tell you why. Behavioral evidence of routine. Hold on, Courtney Lasky, because this touches on you as well. Dr. Sherry Schwartz is with me, forensic psychologist specializing in victim advocacy at panthermitigation.com. Dr. Sherry, thank you for being with us. Dr. Sherry, when I say routine evidence, I don't mean mundane evidence, just, the regular evidence. I mean evidence of routine. For instance, if I came and sat down in this chair in this studio and Jackie was not right there, she would either be dead or on the way or in the hospital, period, because that's her routine, right? So this autistic child would not have left in the middle of the night without a pair of shoes on. And that is telling me something probatively. It proves something to me. What do you think of it, Dr. Sherry?
I agree completely, Nancy. I actually saw an interview that Mr. Rogers gave about this particular issue and how when he was younger, Sebastian, he went outside barefoot and he stepped into an anthill of fire ants. And so Dad doesn't believe that he would go out barefoot. And so this goes to that behavioral evidence that you're talking about. This is another fact that's very important that we need to pay attention to, because this is not something that Sebastian would normally do. And we know this because he's had a prior experience. So these are really important cues in an investigation like this.
Dr. Sherry Schwartz, a lot of people may think that means nothing, that I can't find his shoes, but it means a lot to me. And I guarantee you it would mean a lot to any mother or father hearing this evidence. Seth, what does it mean to you? Was he prone to go outside and wander around at all, period, number one, at night in the dark, number two, and without his shoes on, number three? Would he ever have done that, Seth?
No. I mean, the only time he goes outside at night at my house is to put the trash in the trash can, which is right outside my front door. That's it.
I'm very curious about this. And one more thing, while it's on my mind, does he have social media, Seth?
To me, and no offense to Sebastian, but I think he would be too scared. I think he'd be too scared to go out at night.
No, he does not.
Okay, good. I can rule that out, or at least we don't think he does. Does he have a cell phone?
He does have a cell phone.
Where's the cell phone?
At his mom and stepfather's.
So he didn't take his cell phone. Seth, is he like every other boy in America glued to his cell phone? Does
When
he love
he
his
has
cell
access
phone?
to it, he
What
loves
do you mean
it.
by that? When does he have access?
when he has access to like YouTube and stuff like that, he is glued to his phone because he likes to watch videos about Minecraft and he likes to watch videos of people playing Minecraft.
Okay, you do know that is social media because people can talk to each other on Minecraft. Did you know
No,
that? I didn't know that. I
no,
found
what I'm
out.
talking about is the videos. He watches videos of people playing it on YouTube.
Does he play it?
But you can still talk to people on
I
YouTube.
think he has it for his Switch.
I mean, if these are live, think about that for a minute. You guys are all talking in a chat right now. Just imagine that this is one of those lives and someone's playing Minecraft and commentating over it. And the chat is just like you are, but there's thousands of people in there watching it. Now, maybe he had to watch it on a certain device, but YouTube's YouTube.
At his mom's house, but he
The
does
little,
not,
yeah.
and he's glued to that all
Okay.
the time.
We need a forensic search of that phone pronto, Seth, because I find it very curious if he went voluntarily that he didn't take the phone with him. Okay, because it'd be a cold day in HELL that either one of my 16-year-olds would go anywhere without their phone. And it's not just them. I mean, everybody takes their phone with them
Everybody.
everywhere they go. It's like their magic wand. You can't be without it.
Even Brian
So I find it
Kohlberger.
interesting. Did the mom have the phone put away? Could he have taken it with him?
Most of the time, I've seen the phone plugged in on the counter on the little bar in their kitchen.
Okay, I'm going to Courtney Lasky joining us, expert in children and teens with autism. Courtney, you've been listening. Weigh in.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Nancy. This is a very unusual pattern of behavior that we're looking at. If this child has access to a cell phone, like you said, Minecraft is social media, YouTube is social media, anywhere that he would have access and the ability to talk with others. My concern would be related to his autism diagnosis and that deficit in communication and understanding of social skills. Is it possible that peers at school or someone has contacted him through these gaming methods? Bullying, peer pressure, was he persuaded to leave perhaps from his mom's house in the middle of the night?
I know
Is that
that
you jumping in, Seth?
Yes, ma'am. I know that his phone was locked down. He had no internet access. He only had the ability to take pictures on his phone, text on his phone, FaceTime, and telephone calls. Everything.
So this is the only part about this whole thing I don't get. And I'm all about Seth. I'm team Seth all day. I should have a shirt that says that. Team Seth. But he did look at Nancy's eyes as I'm saying this. He did say in an interview, and I'm going to have to go back through all the interviews because I cannot remember which interview it was. But he did say that when, and he could have misspoke because that's what happens. But he said that when Sebastian comes to his house to hang out, to stay, they both have their own recliners. And he said, like, one of them would be playing Call of Duty. The other one would be playing some other game, like Minecraft, one of those. But they said that they were playing it on the PS4. So that would require them to have 2 PS4 boxes. You cannot play 2 games on one console. So that's the only thing that I've ever picked up out of anything that Seth has said that makes me believe maybe a little bit there could be that internet there, because he did say also, he said that, what did he say? What was I going to say? I can't remember now. I shouldn't have looked at the chat. About the consoles, and they were both for PS4. So I don't know if he had 2 separate PS4s, one for him, one for Sebastian. Oh, that's what it was. But he did say that the only people that he added to his account were people that he personally knew. And so I don't know, maybe they need to start there just to be on the safe side. I'm just saying, because you never know. Kids are sneaky. They just are. You know what I mean? Shit. Yeah, the Switch. Yeah, B. Yeah, that's what I thought. If you want to get on that internet, you're going to get on that internet. Maybe he didn't want to get on the internet, but Nancy seems to think otherwise.
Everything else was locked down
But I do think that Seth is wholeheartedly truthful in everything. And I feel so bad for him.
on his phone.
Have the police looked at his phone? Have they taken his phone to look at who he may have been speaking to?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good.
Question:
first-
Where is this coming? Where's this coming from, Aaron Cantrell? That people saw flashlights, 2 people with flashlights around the property the night that Sebastian disappears. And I keep seeing in all the headlines the night that Sebastian wandered off barefoot. I don't think that's what happened. He's never wandered off before. What? Go ahead, dear.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we got that video a little later, so we just got that video maybe and released it within like the last week or so. But this is from just neighborhood video, like the Ring doorbell cameras. In that subdivision, from the reporting, there's not street lights there, so that's why it's so pitch black and it's so late at night. But you see those 2 flashlights. But what's interesting is where these lights are, it's almost a common area, so it wouldn't be odd if someone may have been out at that time walking their dog or something of that nature. But the fact that Sebastian did leave with a flashlight, and there are 2 flashlights seen in that video, and it is pitch black, it's very concerning.
Put him up. Put him up. Why do you keep saying Sebastian did leave? Why are you saying that? Would you go out in the middle of the night and leave without your shoes on? I'm just curious. Would you, Aaron?
No, you make a good point. I would not leave without my shoes.
I don't think you would either. Even more so because you're hearing Courtney Lasky and Seth Rogers state this boy is autistic. He doesn't think the same way we think. We have to try to think like him. He liked everything in a particular routine. His routine was he wore shoes every time he went out after the ant bed incident. Okay? So, no. Why would he go missing? And let me ask you something else, Aaron Cantrell. Isn't it true that Emergency Management Agency Director Ken Widener has told us that the canines could not pick up a scent outdoors?
Exactly. They have not been able to pick up a scent. They had a false hit, but then that did not turn out to be anything, because when Sebastian went missing, it was kind of a warm day that first day, but after the next day of the search, it went extremely cold. It was rainy, which made it even more concerning, because here you have this 15-year-old who has autism with no shoes on and maybe a sweatshirt and sweatpants, but it is now cold. So they were concerned about hypothermia as well. So a lot of factors kind of changed the search as well. But they have not picked up a scent at all.
Officials have now been able to analyze home security video from that Hendersonville neighborhood and discovered signs of what may have happened to Sebastian. 2 people near the family home, and as I recall, it was around 3:10 a.m. that Monday. 3:10 a.m. Who in the hay is walking around? 2 people, 2 flashlights at 3:10
Oh, I forgot to grab
a.m.
Nancy.
in that neighborhood, and coincidentally, it is the same time during which Sebastian goes missing, which leads me to our guest, Douglas McGregor, geographic profiler specializing in violent crime and missing people. You can find him at the Geo Profiler. Douglas, thank you so much for joining us. A lot's happening right here. No canine scent outside. No shoes. No break-in. No theft. The phone's still there. Weigh in.
So if we look at each of these, the no shoes thing, there's a lot of autistic people who actually enjoy going barefoot. It connects them with the earth. They like that texture, that feel. There's a whole campaign, barefooting for autism. So I know that, and I did read the article.
Let me stop you right there, Douglas. Let me stop you right there. Seth Rogers,
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
right. But does that have anything to do with Sebastian? Did Sebastian go barefoot outside? Was he part of Barefoot for Autism? Do you know?
No, he's got a pair of slippers that he wears so he doesn't have to put on socks and shoes. He puts those on if he's going to go out to the trash or check the mail and doesn't want to put socks on.
Have you seen him since the ant bed incident go outside barefoot?
No, not at my house.
Okay. All right. Back to you, Douglas McGregor. Go ahead.
So continuing on with just how he left the premises, the other question I have is the wording and that law enforcement is giving out with regard to what he was wearing, the clothing, that he was in a black sweater and black sweatpants. How do we know that? Did he go to bed in that clothing? How do we know he didn't wake up in the middle of the night and change clothing? I think the wording should be he may be in a black sweatshirt and sweatpants.
They would know that. If he got up and he changed his clothes at the house, he would have left his old clothes there. So that guy didn't sound like that's not right.
Or he may have those things on him if they are missing from his house, but we don't know that he left in those.
That's a really good point, Seth Rogers. What about it? Is that what he slept in? How do we know that's what he was wearing?
Nancy Grace, if your kids were missing, one of your twins, you would know if you walked in their closet exactly what there was missing. So don't say that. Don't pretend like you wouldn't know that, because you would. His
mom said that he was wearing black leisure pants and a black T-shirt when he went to bed.
Guys, I want you to hear what Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy of Sumner County Sheriff's, has to say.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night. Look for any details that something has been disturbed. If there's a shirt that was there today that wasn't there yesterday, notify us. You can really help us by searching your own property twice a day. Like I said, we're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off, and we really need your help to ensure that he is brought home safely.
Did he? Did he walk off? If so, why are canines not picking up his scent? I can tell you this, Seth Rogers, and to you, Douglas McGregor, the best witness I ever put on the stand, and all the years I tried cases, and I don't mean shopliftings, I mean felony homicides, violent crimes, was a dog. If the dog tells me the dog cannot pick up a scent, I believe the dog. So I'm having a hard time accepting what I'm hearing, that this young autistic boy just wandered out in the middle of the night without shoes on. Okay, back to you, Douglas McGregor. Tell me more of your analysis.
So looking at what the canines were able to pick up, those canines should be picking up multiple scents. And it's all based on Sebastian's routine activities. Does he go to a friend's house during the week?
Wait a minute. Wouldn't it pick up wouldn't it pick up Sebastian's scent, like, if he walked to the school bus every day? Like, his scent just doesn't disappear within like 24 hours. Do you know what I mean? They bring in like canine dogs all the time. So for it's to literally just like go to one spot and then it's gone, that's kind of weird.
Go to the corner store. Does he occasionally walk to school, even taking the bus? Those canines should be picking up all those scents from that 7 days past, because canines regularly train from scenarios where someone's gone missing from 1 hour up to 7 days, and bloodhounds can pick up even longer than 7 days.
Wow.
So those canines should be picking up scents. They should be tracking those scents and then ruling them out as an activity from the past that isn't associated with him going missing on that Sunday evening.
Guys, we were just showing you an aerial sketch of a landfill search. There's nothing good about that. Seth Rogers, why have you been told that authorities are searching a landfill?
They told me they just wanted to make sure that there was nothing there.
Aaron Cantrell joining me, News Channel 5 out of Nashville. Aaron, what can you tell me about this landfill search?
Yeah, Nancy. So they had got a tip that potentially from the garbage workers that maybe the trash may have been off a little bit. So just following up on that tip,
What do you mean by that? You can't just throw a grenade into my mind palace and expect me not to follow up. What do you mean something was off?
So basically, the workers said they had the same garbage truck drivers that come to the house, and when they picked up the garbage can, it just felt more heavier than normal. So they just said that to the authorities. So just to follow up on that tip, they went out to the landfill to search because that's where the trash is taken. There in Sumner County, they take it out there to Kentucky. So just following up on that tip, that's what kind of led them out there because, we're used to our garbage, the same garbage truck workers coming out there. They know kind of how the trash usually feels every single day. So it felt a little off for them.
A little off? What do you mean? That doesn't even make no that's why they had to go check that landfill. I mean, I'm glad that they did, but this guy should be that guy should be just like not a trash worker anymore. Because if you guys, let's just say, and this was like a bigger receptacle, right? If any of you guys live in an apartment complex, you guys will know sometimes when the trash goes out, it's completely full. It's usually always completely full, right? But every once in a while, like every few months, you'll see somebody they threw their mattress in there, or they threw their coffee table in there, or they threw half of their furniture from their house in there. So how can this guy say, yep, it just felt like it was about 135 pounds off that day? Actually, I don't even think that's right. Let's see. 120 pounds. You are not going to, that's weird. I wouldn't have even called that in probably. I wouldn't have even known about that. 120 pounds? I'm trying to think. My dog ain't back there. My dog's almost 120. That's I never knew that before this.
So that's why they told that to the authorities. So that's kind of what led them to the landfill to start looking around.
Seth Rogers, have you been asked to take a polygraph?
No.
Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
I volunteered.
Gosh, he looks so sad.
I'm glad to hear that. You know why? I hold every parent to the gold standard. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mark Class. His daughter Polly was kidnapped from the home. She was horribly molested and murdered. When cops came, he, like you, was separated or divorced from his wife and lived separately. You know what he said when they came at the door? He's like, take my fingerprints, search my home, search my car, search my office, do whatever you want. Find my daughter. Find who took my daughter, because it's not me. I'll take a poly. I'll do whatever you want. And they did all of that. Of course, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. But that said, has the mother and the stepfather taken a polygraph?
I know the mom has.
What?
I said I know his mother has.
So she agreed to
the
a polygraph. What about the stepfather?
I have no idea.
Well, that's telling. Well, that's a little telling, I think, because they're not asking dad. They're not asking his dad to take a polygraph. So, because let's think of things, right? Sebastian could have made a plan with his father, to run away, and then his dad picks him up. Or, do you know what I mean? Something like along those lines, which I don't think that's happened, but they could have asked him to take a polygraph just in case. And they didn't even ask him. But mama over here, on the other hand, and you guys know I was on team mom and stepdad. I don't know where I'm at now. I'm starting to fall off that ledge. But so she gets asked to take one, but he doesn't get asked to take one. Did she pass it?
Guys, there is a reward for information in the search for this.
Did Nancy not ask that? Let me go back. Does she know something we don't know? Hold on.
What?
Sorry.
Whatever you want, find my daughter, find who took my daughter, because it's not me. I'll take a poly. I'll do whatever you want. And they did all of that. Of course, it wasn't him, it was somebody else. But that said, has the mother and the stepfather taken a polygraph?
I know the mom has.
What?
I said, I know his mother has.
So she agreed to a polygraph. What about the stepfather?
I have no idea.
Guys, there is a reward for information in the.
Now, y'all know Nancy. She is one of the best, if not the best interviewer when it comes to missing people, because she don't give no ifs, ands, or buts. She'll ask the tough questions. And she didn't ask him, did she pass? That should have been her next question. Does she know something that we don't know? Because she should have asked that. She said, well, did she ask? Or did she pass it? Or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Why didn't you ask, Nancy? About to go to Twitter.
Search for this little autistic
Maybe
boy.
she will. Maybe I just didn't hear yet.
Aaron Cantrell, I want you to take a listen to what Chief Deputy Eric Craddock has to say. Listen.
Last Monday morning at about 6:30, Sebastian was reported missing from his home. Since then, we've conducted an extensive and exhaustive search around the home, looking for any evidence, any trace of Sebastian. At this time, the decision's been made to scale back on the ground search operations. Let me be clear that this does not diminish our commitment to finding Sebastian. This is simply us transitioning from the ground search to the investigative side. We are still committed to finding Sebastian and bringing him home safe. We have no leads, no details to indicate that Sebastian is not alive.
From what I know, I can tell you that at this juncture, the family has totally cooperated with police. I'm curious about these flashlights. Back to you, Aaron Cantrell, joining us from News Channel 5. Aaron, I'm deducing, nobody's told me this, that the flashlights of apparently two people were seen in that neighborhood. Was it on Ring Cam?
Yeah, they believe it's a kind of a neighborhood kind of video. So either Ring or some version of that in the neighborhood, which I'm in a Facebook group called Finding Sebastian Rogers, and neighbors have posted in there. Like one neighbor said, if he would have walked near their house, you know, you have those automatic lights.
He was
that
on
sometimes
camera at a
come on, but that
restaurant
didn't come on.
Sunday.
But in the video with the flashlights, you see two flashlights. That's all you can see because it's so dark. There's no street lights in the neighborhood, but you see two lights walking towards kind of a to the right of the video. But then you see, I think it may be into a wooded area, and then one of those both those lights disappear. But then you see one person stay away, but then some other person or thing comes back into the camera. So that's kind of odd too, because you see two flashlights leave, and then you see some sort of body of something of one person walk back through the camera.
I'm curious, how close were the flashlights to their home, to Sebastian's home?
Very close. So it's kind of right behind the home, kind of in like a common area of the neighborhood. So, you know, like a subdivision, there may be kind of like some grassier area. Maybe people may walk their dogs, that sort of thing. So it's kind of a common area, but very close to Sebastian's home.
So these flashlights of, we think, two people were right behind Sebastian's home. Is that correct, Aaron?
Yes.
Okay. Are you also telling me that there are lights that come on automatically that are motion censored on Sebastian's home?
That's what one of the neighbors alluded to in a Facebook post early on in the investigation. You know, there was a Facebook group started, and, you know, right now it's flooded with a lot of individuals. In the beginning, it was definitely more just family and neighbors. And one neighbor did mention that if he was to have walked by their home, their motion lights would have come on if he walked on the side of their home. So that was kind of odd too, because that's why the neighbor said that was suspicious to her, because her light normally comes on if anybody walks past the home.
And Aaron, those lights, the motion the motion activated lights on Sebastian and the neighbor's home did not come on.
No. Which is in the video when you see the flashlights. That's why all you can see are the 2 dots of the flashlight. You can't really see anything else.
Aaron, this Ring doorbell camera or something similar, did it ever show those outdoor light sensors coming on that night?
Not in that particular video. So that's the only video that we've been able to get our hands on. Authorities have said they've received several videos and things of that nature sent into them. But all they could confirm for us with that video was that was one of the pieces of evidence that they are looking at, and they are aware of that video. But authorities could have other videos that they're looking at, but that's the one that we've been able to get our hands on, which is just very odd considering, again, Sebastian, they have said that he had that flashlight with him.
Douglas McGregor, it grows curiouser and curiouser, to coin a phrase, because if he had walked out of that house, those motion sensor lights would have come on. But from what we can deduce, they didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen the video. And my first question would be, let's just set aside the motion sensor lights for a moment. Who would he leave that house with if it wasn't one of the 3 parents? Who would it be? And those, that would be the next step in the investigation at that point, looking at that video.
And Seth, who can verify his last conversation other than the mom and the stepdad? He was at school on Friday. You spoke to him Thursday night. He was at school on Friday, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know he was alive and well.
They have
at
him.
3:30.
They have him on camera at a restaurant eating with his mom on Sunday night. So when she came out and she said they went to eat and everything, all of that checked out. Now I'm trying to see exactly when his stepfather was away at work, because it says he was in Memphis, but I want to know when he got there and all that stuff.
On Friday afternoon. Who saw him other than the parents from that afternoon, 3:30-ish, till we find out he's missing on Monday morning?
I don't know who else.
Seth. So I don't have
know.
any proof of life between Friday afternoon and Monday morning.
He said that
I haven't been informed of anything. My only proof of life would be Katie.
I could have sworn that Seth was the one that said that they had him on video.
His mom.
Okay, who is cooperating with police? Guys, I want to give you the tip line again. 615-451-3838. Repeat. 615-451-3838. Listen to Sebastian's mom, Katie.
We love you so much, and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble.
I guarantee you he is loved. And trust me, the open arms are waiting for him to come home. From every parent to every family members to probably everyone in the community. But there's no malice. We just want our boy home. Bad.
That is from WSMV4. That also has the full discussion with Sebastian's mother, the full interview. WSMV4. To you, Seth Rogers, what are your final thoughts?
I'm just looking for my son. I want him to come home. I need people to look at his picture. Keep your eyes up and keep your head up. If you see him, please call 911. I need my son back.
Do you think he left that home alone?
I have no idea what to think. It's not like him.
Seth, am I missing anything?
I'm missing something. This puzzle just isn't making sense. There's missing pieces to it. There's
There
just
really
missing
are.
pieces.
I've been following this search, and law enforcement has done a thorough job of using different assets at their disposal. But the search needs to be expanded. The number one reason that autistic children go missing are runaways, endangered runaways. And, once that hits a certain point in time, statistically, it turns into a parent abduction is the number one leading cause. But based on his age, they need to expand this search. Where might he go? What method of transportation might he have? And they need to research everywhere that they've already searched within the 5 mile or 10 mile radius, because autistic children, they have a tendency to hide or avoid stimuli. So just loud noises in general, helicopters, sirens, people shouting, they may hide, they may seek out crevices. That construction site that the dog hit needs to be researched thoroughly. And this is something that not only law enforcement can do, but the parents can get together, volunteer searches within the community to search these areas as well.
Hold on, let me understand something. Aaron, you told me that the dogs had not made a hit. Wasn't that a false positive at the construction site?
Yes, ma'am.
But still, it needs to be further investigated. Back to Seth, you keep saying that a piece of the puzzle is missing. Something is missing. It doesn't add up. What do you mean by that?
Something it doesn't add up. For him to break routine and to leave the house with no shoes, no socks on, no coat, something just doesn't make sense.
Guys, please help us bring Sebastian home. This boy needs us. 615-451-3838. Goodbye, friend. Guys, thank you for watching Crime Online with Nancy Grace here on YouTube.
Good golly, Miss Nancy, stop doing that. There was another article I wanted to read you guys before we got offline. I keep forgetting about Nancy. I just put her behind me tonight. She's usually in the closet, hanging out over there. So, I want to go back through on our next live on Sebastian. I want to go back through and listen to the stepfather and the mom's interviews. I think that they've done 3 or 4 of them. They've done one just recently with Chronicles of Olivia. So I'm going to go over that one as well. And see what we hear, see what they say, see if there's anything different. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of stuff we hear that's different. But his father has been actively out there searching for him. His father, Seth, that we just saw on Nancy Grace. It says that he continues to search for him nearly a month after he went missing. It says that Seth Rogers told this news agency that he was at Natchez Trace State Park in West Tennessee Thursday morning searching for his son. Where was it? They said that someone told, I might have not grabbed that one, but I guess that there was somebody had told him to go and search there. Now, if that's true, we don't know that yet. But let me see if I can find anything else on it. Oops, I didn't mean to put that. And I'll go to Twitter really quick too. I think this is the one I just had up. Yeah. Because I remember seeing that. And if anyone remembers, let me know. I was just trying to see if I could find it. So basically, his mom's coming out and saying she heard a noise when we've never heard of this before, or of her hearing a noise before. She said that she heard some sort of noise after she put an hour after she told him to go to bed. And she said, I don't care what you're doing in there. You need to go to bed. So I kind of want to know what she says about that now, because that just came out. So, but there, I can't find it. So let me go over to Twitter. And everything that I've looked up over the stepfather, it just says he was out of town for work. It doesn't say when he left to go out of town, when he came back. But I think that Trev Time, I think that's his name. I really like his channel, but he does a lot of missing kids. He's really covering this case hard. I think that's where I heard more about that, because he has a lot of the facts of this case. And I'll check Twitter really quick, see if there's anything that's popping off over there, because sometimes something will be going on in a different case even. Oh, look at this. Okay. There is some updates for Riley Strand. Nothing huge, but I haven't pulled up for tomorrow. We're going to do a members only live tomorrow, so watch out for that. Forgot to tell you guys that earlier. We're going to do a members live tomorrow. I've been meaning to do one with you guys. It's been almost a month. We usually do them we used to do them once a week. I'm going to try to get more of a schedule with the members only lives, especially because we have a lot of new members, and I want you guys to know you do get extra content with that, not just the emojis, the shout outs and all that stuff. You get actual content. But I want to know what we're going to do a members live, and I'm going to let you guys tell me what you guys want to see on those members lives. If you just want it to be kind of like where we just talk about whatever we want, or if you want it to be more structured where we have different topics, but we'll talk about it on our members live. It'll be a good one. And then it looks like Mr. JLR's in Tennessee, which we all knew, but he looks like maybe he's going towards Sebastian's place. What happened? Chris Proudfoot had a parent. What? Hold on a second. Well, what's JLR saying here? It says, a lot of people are asking my thoughts on the apparent meltdown Chris Proudfoot had last night because of me. Chris knows I'm in Tennessee, which is probably the reason he's triggered. But I'm here for Riley Strand and Sebastian Rogers, not Chris. Does anyone know where he went off on him? I'm more interested in helping Sebastian's father, Seth, who is still actively searching for his son. Everyone knows I tried reaching out to Chris in good faith to invite him on my channel, but he only wanted to know what evidence I have that he's involved. And he could have been saying that just to be like an ass. Like, what do you I don't know, but that's a little weird to say. I have zero interest in whatever drama the Proudfoots are trying to stir up. Here's my official response. Very, very. That's okay. Now JLR is taking the higher road here. But if this was 100 cases, this would have been his only case where he was taking the higher road and not stirring up this shit himself. I'm sorry, but he's usually the one with the big wooden spoon. But let's see what his response is. Oh wait, it's only 11 seconds.
Christopher Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, where is your son, Sebastian Rogers? Where is Sebastian Rogers?
Oh, JLR, you're a heckler. You could have done better than that. He could have done better than that. I wonder what the jerk said. I just saw someone said Vanilla said he was a jerk. It's almost but yeah, like what the heck? Wow. I want to know what happened last night. Where do we find that? Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but is this AI or is this him? This looks like AI. Everybody uses that now. I will never use AI unless I tell you guys I do. And I don't think I'd ever use it for this channel. I wouldn't. Let's see. I saw that earlier. I was just seeing if they had what was going on last night. Like what? Oh yeah. We're going to talk about her. Okay. Wow. I want to know about the apparent break. I want to know about Oh, the stepdad's saying people making money. I guess, I mean, Lady Garden, I guess I can understand. I mean, I can understand both sides. I mean, I can understand the, if you, I don't know, JLR's changed a lot in the last few months, but he's been on this platform for like 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So if Chris Proudfoot were to put, if he were to hashtag JLR's name, the good, the bad, and the ugly is all going to come up. Do you know what I mean? So he may have seen something like that triggered him. Do you know what I mean? And he could have, because he says something like, what was it? He wants to know what evidence, like what evidence do you have that I'm involved? So he may have heard JLR on Twitter saying 2 days ago, I think he did it. I think he's guilty. Do you know what I mean? And then he reaches out for an interview, and then Chris is probably going to say, well, no, like, I don't know how it played out, but I'm just assuming, so thank you, ALR, for the gifted memberships. I also feel, and I was talking to Vincent about this earlier today. It is one thing, we're going to talk about this on the second channel because this is a good topic. It is one thing for a victim's family member to reach out to a YouTuber or a TikToker or somebody on social media and ask for your help in locating or getting the story out about their loved one. In my humble personal opinion, nobody needs to reach out to a grieving family member, whether it's somebody with a missing child, somebody that just lost somebody, any of that. They will come to you if they need you. If not, they'll go to CNN, News Nation, ABC, NBC, CBS. But when creators are, because they've been stepping over the line lately, like way over the line. Like they're supposed to be in Ohio and they're in California. You know what I mean? Clutch my pearls. Oh. Mom and stepdad? Oh, I don't know. I think I know the name though. But that's just my personal thing. I mean, it gets messy when you do that. Now I've always said on this channel, I do open panels with you guys, but I would never like hold a panel where I would have I wouldn't open it up for like somebody, let's say like Kim, WSU Kim, to come up. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't let my panel be opened up to someone like that. But I would open up my panel to a missing family member. Like, if somebody missing, 100% take the whole panel. You can have the whole thing. I'll stay in the back. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, I'm trying to get him off the screen. I mean, if, when that's the case, missing persons are just different. Like literally have my channel. I will hang out in the small box beside you and tell your story, My Smiley Story World. Really? I've never heard of them before. Oh, I gotta write that name down. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Smiley. Who that? Hold on. So this is a creator that has a true crime channel, and their name is Smiley. Am I getting that right? Yeah, Ashley, of course I'd open my platform up to you. You're weird. You're weird like me. He said Chris and Katie are twice. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't see Mary Beth. Oh, yeah. How many members? I was going to look. We have so many because of you guys. Especially, man, you and T. Salas were gifted memberships. And Naomi, ALR gifted a bunch. We even had, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? I know his name's Riddler. I could just picture his little green little question mark. That's what I was thinking. But he'll come in and, I love it when Riddler comes in. He just comes in, he'll say hello, he'll do a membership or a milestone, and then he leaves. He's taking some time off of YouTube. And I understand that. Thought about doing that myself, but I just never do. Smiley face. Yeah. So that's his name is Smiley. I don't know, y'all. I feel bad even laughing a little bit during my lives. Do you know what I mean? Am I invisible? Opinions on the belt beating. Oh, belt beating. You know, I can probably say with certainty 90% of the people in this chat got hit with something as a kid, like a belt, a twig, like a switch. You go pick up your own switch out on the street. You know what I mean? We've seen it. I never got spanked as a kid ever, not once. So I don't know what that's like, but like I don't know how damaging it could be to a kid mentally, but I feel like sometimes you need to be threatened with a belt or a switch or a hand. My mom and dad used to take us to the car. We never ever got hit. I never got hit. My brother never got hit with anything. But if our parents said we're going to the car, it was like mom was done shopping and mom was going to be mad because she had to leave the craft store. You know what I mean? One of those things. That's how it was. A wooden spoon, cat's life. My mom did that to my dad. She had a wooden spoon in the kitchen. I wish I had that thing. It's somewhere in storage, I think, with my brother. I would do anything to have that spoon. But she would have it in her hand, like cooking. She always used this wooden spoon. And my dad would come up and be handsy because he was a man. And he knew her hands were full of like stuff. So the perfect time. And she would hit him with that spoon. And you could hear that thing clear across the house. Or he'd say, "Don't get that spoon." If he said a cuss word, spoon was coming out. I mean, yeah, they hurt. I could hear my dad. I could hear my dad hollering from the other side of the house. "Sydney, that hurt." The look did it for me. Yeah, Catherine. Yeah, the look. Like, that's all we needed. My dad once, he was going to, he wanted to kick the shit out of my brother. And I guess my dad went to he was going to kick him in the butt. My dad said, I was so mad, I was going to kick him in his little butt. And it was icy out, and my dad tripped and fell and hurt his back real bad. And he was after that, my dad was like, I never even tried to mess with that kid. He was like, he knew he got me. me never. If my mom needed to smack me on the butt, it was bad. Yeah. I did get my mouth washed out with soap once for saying a bad word, which I made it up. It was a made up word. So I don't know how that could be bad. And I told her I liked the way that the soap tastes. That would be me. But only once. I learned my lesson about 52 years ago. Then maybe that's what we need more of. Belt weapons. Washed out with soap and pepper on my tongue. Stephanie, see, that sounds like something my dad would do. My dad made some kid that was they were babysitting him one time to stand in the corner, and he would make him eat grapes. I don't know why he made him eat grapes. Maybe the kid didn't like grapes. Yes. Okay. That's what I was saying, Michael. So the school that I went to was so old. It was from the 1800s. It was built so old. But they still at this point, years and years and years and centuries later, they had teachers in there that were old enough to where they used to use switches on them in school. Like one of my fourth grade teacher, I was terrified of her. I was like, she used to beat kids with the ruler, hit them with the ruler. That was traumatizing. Oh, Guillaume said that's funny. That's me. After I got off the live, I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. I did that last night. I was like, I'm going to go to bed. And I was listening to Melissa Jade, and she was doing an Idaho debunking stream. And I was like, she said something. I was like, I'm awake now. I'm awake. My little brother got a paddling every single day. Yeah. Well, don't worry, Solo. We got your back now. CPS was called. Well, I called CPS on my mom and dad on accident. I didn't even know what CPS was when I called. So yeah, I don't know who did say that. Does anyone know who said that he hit him with the belt? It might have been. I thought it was one of the first ones they did, but we're going to go over them tomorrow. So I'm going to go over like the ones that they did on all the other channels too. I'm going to try to dig and find them. So if you have any interviews that you know of that the parents have done out there, if you want to send them to my email, that would help me out a ton. TitaniumBuiltBoo@gmail.com. If not, that's cool too. Don't you guys worry. I'll get them. I'll find them. I'll sleuth. But sometimes you'll see something on a channel that I've never even heard of that channel before, like, and there'll be, I'm like, where did that come from? So I love that. I call my dad a pig at 9. We'll never forget it and would never repeat it. Paddles, the only ones ever got from my father. God bless him. Yeah. Wow. So I'm going to jump off of here, but I will be back on tomorrow night. It's around the same time. I think we're probably just going to shoot for, anywhere from 8:35 to 9:15, but probably around 9:15 since the summer, spring's hitting us too. And I want to be more, here every night at the same time for you guys. But I appreciate you guys all being here tonight. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And if you guys would like to subscribe over to my other channel, I will put that link in the chat. We are going to do a members only live tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. It'll be in the afternoon sometime. And then that'll be the link for my second channel there. So I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys all tomorrow, either on the live or the members live. Bye, guys.